Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess with some more about the magic of daily practice. And we already covered the really simple, smallest basic practice with your prayer book and your daily affirmation cards, both of which are available to you as printables in the resources section of this module, but also that you can have printed in color at a copy shop like Staples and have available at your fingertips as you move through this month. So simplest, basic, core kind of part of the process is having that space for yourself that you set aside each day. And now I want to expand a little bit more about what that might actually look like what building a fulfilling daily practice, what building a space for the sacred and for yourself in your own life, what that might actually look like. And so, as I noted before, choosing a special spot I find is really important, whether it's by a window, whether it's by an altar that you've built, whether it is a place outside. So I like to come out to my own deck and sit on the porch swing. That's what I love. In the winter, if it's too cold, I usually sit there even if it's really quite cold and I have to bring a blanket out with me or I have to wear a coat. I'll sit there in the rain. I pretty much sit there no matter what, because part of my daily practice is bearing witness to life as it unfolds, which sometimes is rainy and sometimes is snowy and sometimes, has lots of cool things to look at and sometimes is gray and overcast. And, but if it's really, really cold or something's really going on outside, my yoga mat by my window also works really well. So a yoga mat can be your space, a meditation cushion can be your space, a porch swing can be your space, a chair can be your space, a window can be your space, an altar on a desk can be your space, an altar in a box that you unpack and set up and then pack back away can be your space. But it's really important that you have an actual space, a space that you can return to over and over. And that space, one of the things I say is that with daily practice, what we are doing is we're making a container to hold space for the sacred and for ourselves, but we're also making a container of infinite experiencing. So one of the things that I will promise about daily practice is that you will always learn something new. Something will happen. And so the space might be the same, but the you who steps into it is always different. And what happens in that space is always different. So the container is the same. The experiencing is infinite. And really, daily practice in many ways is about making a space to touch the infinite and to feel the infinite reaching back to touch you. And so, choosing your special space, it can be portable. I have little bags with my little cards and things like that in them, and other, I'll have a little goddess figurine in my bag. As I have already said, you are your own sacred space. You're an altar of the elements wherever you stand. If you wear a little piece of special jewelry, you can use that as a touchstone to remind you to come home to your own sacred space that you always carry. But a physical sacred space can be really super important. Maybe it's a spot in the woods, maybe it's a specific tree, maybe it's your flower garden, maybe it's your bird feeder, but there's something that you know as a sacred space. And coming back to it over and over and over again is that space then holds all your magic. It holds the memory, the imprint of all the magic that's gone before it. So when you return to your space, you're not just returning to that space. Yes, you're returning to the present, but you're also returning to the power that has built up over all those days of consistent showing up. And so each day, visit your spot, wherever it is, and see and learn from what is right there at that moment. The card you pick, the wind that blows, the birds you see, the impression that rises to your mind, the dream you remember, the rune you pick, whatever it is that's going on, you come back to that. And you learn from what it is right there in the moment. Let your mind make connections between ideas, symbols, and experiences. And allow yourself to trust these as all relevant and interwoven. I'm amazed by how these little seemingly disparate pieces, these little threads in my regular life, how often they weave together in these really incredible ways, these really enchanting kind of ways. You see these connections between the card you draw, the prayer you read, the word of the day, the dream you had, the moon phase, the birds you saw. Like, it all connects together. So trust that those things are meaningful and that they're interwoven. Bear witness to what's unfolding in your world right now. Right now. This often is an opportunity to be present, to come into reality, to come into your life as it is right now. Your life is wholly now, and you are invited to step into it every day. And so what's unfolding can be in your inner world and it can be in the exterior world. Pay attention to your own life. Pay attention to your own life. The breath of grace is always there. Just inhale. So be alert for synchronicities, for signs and symbols, and allow yourself to see the magic everywhere, woven in and through all things. So as I've already mentioned, memorizing a prayer or a couple of prayers can be very helpful and powerful, because then you always have them with you no matter where you are. Ditto with the 3 breaths, ditto with the hand on your heart. You always have those with you no matter where you are. You can be in the emergency room and you still have those things with you. You can be in a car and you still have those things with you. You can be broken down on the side of the road and you still have those things with you. So you always have something. You always have what you need right there. So memorizing a prayer can be powerful, because if you're in a state of, maybe you're in a state of kind of strain or stress, and then you can kind of pull out your memorized offering and you still have something to offer. So that's when I come back to the Goddess Guide Me, Peace Fill Me, Life Weave Me. And I already spoke of that, but it's worth a reminder. You're your own sacred space. I really encourage you to commit to a physical sacred space outside of you, outside, by a window, on the yoga mat, by an altar, etc. But if for some reason you don't have time to visit that space, you are it too. At any time, at any place, no matter what you've missed or skipped or feel like you need to catch up with, no matter what, you can lay a hand on your heart. You can come home to yourself. You can center yourself back into presence, and you can feel that pulse of the sacred beneath your own skin that connects you to it all and that reminds you that you belong. In the next video, I will offer some additional, more extensive example daily rituals, and then those are available to you as a little card set as well that you can print out and have available as a little daily ritual, a sample daily ritual that you can carry with you. So this was one idea of, what a daily practice might look like, and then the more extensive ones are in the video to follow. Thanks so much for being here. There is a place for you.